Hey everyone, welcome back to OCD Recovery's YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about visual disturbances with Daisy over here. And when I mean visual disturbances, the whole host of things. So you could have the hallucination part, schizophrenia fears of losing control, strictly visual stuff around spots in your eyes, floaters, hyper awareness of background. So like right now, I'm making a video, but what if I'm noticing this chair over here? What if I can't stop focusing on Daisy? It's making me lose my concentration. So there's a couple different angles of it, and we'll kind of briefly touch on each one for a little bit in this video. Before I go any further, please subscribe. Hit that like button down below. Let me know what you think about this. This is a really important topic because a lot of people don't have OCD or any anxiety, but they have really bad floaters. And they have really bad belief systems about it. It's not that you cannot get any sort of surgery for your eyes to get floaters removed. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. When you have severe OCD and anxiety, we have to be a little bit more with a precaution because of the fear patterns and stuff like that, because you can get that and they could just latch onto the bridge of your nose while you're talking, or hyper awareness of your limbs, your consciousness. So you just have to be careful with that. And then Phil at OCDrecovery.com. Please come in for a one-to-one. It's how you get access to our WhatsApp groups, etc. So let's talk about the fear of losing control first. So if you have someone that has a fear of having schizophrenia or losing control, the basic exposures, just very basic stuff, it's watching videos and documentaries on people with schizophrenia. I always recommend the catatonic ones on YouTube from the 70s and 60s. There's also a couple really good ones by an individual named Chris on Soft White Underbelly. Those ones are really good too. I love that one. I give that as an exposure. But now from a belief system perspective, until you become more comfortable with unconditional self and life acceptance, so the overall life acceptance of possibilities of having schizophrenia itself and what that's going to do to your life, and the self-acceptance of maybe I am someone that's going to see hallucinations, maybe I am someone that's going to have visual disturbance, and that's not the end of the world. It's not ideal, it's not what you want, but people have very tough situations in this life, and life is not fair. There's no universal fairness. It's why the principles of Stoicism and other Greco-Roman philosophies have held the basis of unconditional self-life, other acceptance, and that's where the glue came from with REBT. So you are going to have to get comfortable with that. You're going to have to stop solving and self-reassuring yourself. Oh, Nick, you know you're not going crazy. It's not the end of the world. Oh, that's not what's happening. All that type of self-reassurance. And remember, until the fear comes down, so yes, there could be a slight possibility that I'm someone that has some sort of hallucinations. No, it's not the end of the world. Yes, it's not going to make me concentrate as much as I want. It's going to take me away from the present moment. Please see my other videos on the present moment and concentration. I'm not going to talk about that aspect in this video, but you will have to get more comfortable with stop trying to force the present moment. I don't spend a second of my day ever, not for 1 second, thinking about the present moment, and I am more tuned into life than most people I've ever met because I don't need to be present, so my mind's not trying to unlatch me in different ways. This goes far beyond the boundaries of OCD and anxiety recovery. I think the present moment kind of myth, it really is almost a myth. You can't quantify it. It's not scientific by any means whatsoever. So you can't say to yourselves, this is what the present moment is, because we got inside a master guru meditation teacher or Buddha or some sort of Nepali, sanctuary priest. They're all going to experience it in different ways. And if you think these individuals have a sense of presenteeism where they have no distractions whatsoever, you have another thing coming. So getting yourself, you're present when you're present, and if you're not, you're not. And it's not the end of the world. That's the way you want to do it. So the other part of the visual disturbance is primarily life acceptance. So now we're talking about just the hyper-awareness aspect, hyper-awareness of background things. So like right now, like let's say I'm looking at myself, but I can't stop thinking about Daisy because I keep seeing Daisy in my peripheral fields, or I'm speaking at the video right now and I see the door handle in the back, so I can't stop noticing the door handle. It doesn't just have to be a visual disturbance. There can also be visual and verbal cues as well, plus counting. That's not what this video is about. So I could be visually seeing the door handle, but it's also going door handle, door handle, door handle, door handle, or it's going 1, 2, 3 door handle, 1, 2, 3 door handle, or door handle dog, 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 chair, 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 table, table, chair, dog, dog, table, chair, blanket, 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 blanket. Oh my God, you're not going to remember that. You're not going to be able to forget it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, over, over, over. So that's going to have to stay there as you break down. Look, it's very distracting, but it's not the worst thing in the world. The more you see that as a terrible outcome, the more it's going to have an upper hand on your life. Now, this is something that I know very well because I struggled immensely with sensory motor / hyper awareness / somatic OCD. Doesn't matter what we call it. Those particular fear patterns for the majority of my life. Even before it was chronic. Remember, I didn't wear underwear for 10 years because of the fears of feeling on my stomach. I didn't wear certain clothes. I wouldn't go to the beach because I was afraid the way the sun would feel in my skin. I applied cocoa butter lotion 15, 20 times a day. I mean, I had so many sensation fears that I didn't even know what was going on. And when my OCD became chronic, and after I left the mental hospital, I was no longer one to no longer be here anymore. I started to realize just how much I've been hiding from sensations my whole life. So you're going to have to get comfortable with the loss of concentration as you're changing your belief system. Now, this is where most people get very frustrated. Sensory motor hyper-awarenesses themselves, not talking about the schizophrenia and losing control aspects, do not typically have exposures. Okay? If you're really afraid of seeing too many things at once, you can go to a very public place like a city square or something, but after a while that runs its course. It has to come down to beliefs. So life is your exposure. As long as you are building your life to look exactly how you'd want it to look, that is the life exposure. Anyone that's telling you that exposures are the gold standard for hyper-awareness-based fears do not understand hyper-awareness-based fears. By the way, this goes for pain as well. CRPS and TMS, although their outcomes and mechanisms are slightly different in a neurological and biological sense, the belief systems themselves still operate in the same mechanisms. So, and the same thing, because the long-term goal is to not get it to go away. This is why there's a great saying in the pain world. There's a difference between pain-free and free of pain. And you can apply that with everything. There's no such thing as blinking free. There's no such thing as hyper-awareness, background distraction free. Not in the sense that you're looking for, because when you look at me in the recovered state, and I've been recovered for years now, you look at that and you say, oh my gosh, that guy Nick he must be in a blissful state. No, I got things going on. Daisy's breathing like fucking Darth Vader right now, aren't you, boo-boo? Here's the kisses. She gives good kisses. Mila's down there. Look at the daisy blanket. So I hear her breathing. I hear the washing machine on. I have other things. This isn't actually the most comfortable thing. I have my mega skinny jeans on right now, so sometimes they could be really uncomfortable with them sitting like this. I have holes in my socks, drives Erica crazy, so I could feel some of the fabric in the holes in my socks right now. And I have a bunch of just weird things in my room in my office that can distract me. I got my big light on right here that's still on. But I don't view that as terrible. So it just becomes a background distraction, and it doesn't really bring any awareness out of the present moment for me. But even if it did, it still wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So grand scheme. So for this particular fear pattern, just hyper-awareness / sensory motor, the belief is, oh my gosh, if I can't stop noticing this, my life is ruined. Slowly breaking that down, and your life needs to look eventually exactly how it would if you didn't have this. If you are not doing that and you're just working on your belief systems, that's what I like to call the information gathering disease. I'll give you an example. People that watch all sorts of stuff on day trading, all sorts of stuff on well-intentioned neurologists, and they go to a cigar bar and I hear them and they're like, oh, well, the prefrontal cortex and this and that. But then their life is a fucking mess. They don't go to work. They don't do this. So you're majoring in the minors. By the way, I made a really big post for the WhatsApp groups that I can actually send you. If you come to a call, come to that. I do a lot of big articles that doesn't go anywhere else. Very specific. So that's one of the benefits of the WhatsApp group. And I talk about this. You're majoring in the minors. I want to think about this particular. No, you have to build your life and get comfortable with any sort of visual field disturbance being there and not viewing it as the worst thing ever. Thank you again. Phil at OCDrecovery.com. Hope to hear from you soon. Let me know what you think. Say hi bye to Daisy. Give me one more kiss, boo-boo. Give me a kiss. She's one of these dogs that will just lick your face for hours. And people who have asked, yes, she's been cancer-free now for about 6 months. Isn't that great? And my wife is making me drive 27 hours so the dog can come to Florida. I want her to have one more trip to our families in Florida. So I have to drive 27 hours both ways in a 10-day period over the holidays. So that's what compromise looks like in your life. Throw me off a bridge. Seriously. No, I love my wife, but obviously this is why it's so important for so many people to break down those compromising fears when it comes to ROCD. No little detractor there. So enjoy. Phil at OCDrecovery.com. Hope to hear from you soon. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.